According to one estimate, young Americans spend 10,000 hours playing video games before they turn the age of 21.
92% of school-age kids play video games. Nearly 10% of those kids are addicts.
More than 100 million Americans play every single day, but when does a hobby turn into an addiction?
Online gaming addiction or gaming addiction in general can lead to depression, it can lead to social phobia, poor grades, childhood obesity, and get this, you guys, it can lead to dementia.
Even at such a young age, they're saying it could lead to dementia?
Yes, at age as young as 10 years old, they're seeing signs of dementia in children from really an excessive use of these video games.
Gaming addiction is causing many of their patients to lose touch with reality. So their main objective is treating this growing disorder before it's game over.
What do you think your problem is?
I think that I'm just not motivated to do anything in the real world anymore.
China was the first country to declare video game addiction a real disorder.
How many hours a day do you spend on your PC?
Oh, if I had nothing to do, it could be all day.
At least 3 to 4 in the week, more on the weekends.
Games I play the most are Grand Theft Auto 5 and a game called Assetto Corsa. I like GTA because it's really sociable. Games are fun, but I find them a lot more fun when you can get all your friends involved at the same time.
Because I'm 10 grand towards mine. $112 for mine.
I kind of struggle to enjoy it as much when my friends aren't around. It's the same as like any other activity. Once you get into doing it with your friends, you kind of start to struggle to do it on your own. It gets quite boring.
Their grades are going down. They're not engaging anymore with their family or their peers. They're isolating.
Has gaming affected your school grades?
I don't know.
Do you give yourself enough time to study?
I don't need to study.
Enough time to do your work?
Can I not answer that one? Because probably no, I probably don't.
Has your gaming affected your school grades?
Yeah. Sometimes positively. Through my GCSEs, being so involved with computers kind of helped me with my school grades. It helped me access a lot of information that I needed to pass my exams. But then there's the flip side, which is now through my A-levels. I've struggled to separate myself and find the time for my studies because they just require so much sort of attention, you know, to continuously work all the time. Otherwise your grades drop so quickly, and you find that your computer just gets in the way.
And have you ever broken anything or hurt yourself because of anger from playing a game?
No, I've broken things accidentally, say like getting up from my desk and knocking something off, but I've never like been angry and broken anything on my computer. No.
No, I've thrown it. I've like pushed it, or like gone shout. I normally shout rather than break stuff.
Has your parents ever told you off for screaming or shouting?
Yes.
How often?
Used to be very often.
And how many games do you own?
On my Steam account, I think last time I checked, I owned 99 games. Yeah.
So about 80.
How much overall have you spent on your whole setup, including games, the equipment, on average?
Oh God. Including games?
Yes.
Probably more than I would ever like to know, if I'm honest. Probably like as much, probably a bit less than the overall setup.
Then easily over 1,500, 600 definitely. Increase that by depending how much I've spent in the games.
Right, do you think it's been worth it, so buying your PC or the games?
I don't think all of it has. I don't think all of it has at all. I think a lot of it is just kind of impulse buying, and a lot of it you don't end up playing. A lot of it you just buy because you like the look of it and you get drawn into it, and it's the whole addiction thing. But you know, some of it is really worth it. Like it's hard for people to understand if they're not involved, but actually paying the money, a little bit of money, and getting the hours of experience and fun time that you have with your friends is actually like, it works out a lot cheaper in some cases than say like doing other things outside of gaming would, and you get like such a good social experience out of it, which sounds odd because you sat down.
People that don't play a lot of action games, that don't actually spend a lot of time in front of screens, have normal, or what we call corrected to normal vision. That's okay. The issue is what happens with these guys that actually indulge into playing video games like 5 hours per week, 10 hours per week, 15 hours per week. By that statement, their vision should be really bad, right? Guess what? Their vision is really, really good. It's better than those that don't play. Clearly, when it comes to action video games, screen time doesn't make your eyesight worse.
Do you think gaming has made you any better at anything, like on the outside world? For example, reaction speeds, problem solving?
I'd say yeah, reaction speeds generally are a lot quicker because of like different games. I play a lot of like ones where I need quick reflexes, and I found myself like sometimes I've like caught a mug like as it's fell and I just went like that and somehow caught it, and then just that helps.
So I find I'm a much better like driver, for one thing, like reaction timing, and like I use my computer a lot to practice driving like through simulators before like I do stuff in real life, and that's made me so much like better of a driver. And just like you say, like reaction timing and things like that, I find like I pick up on things really quickly and can react to things much quicker, and I tend to pick up on activities that use more kind of muscle memory and things. I tend to like pick them up quite quickly.
Do you think it's also that gaming's changed your personality at all?
My parents said at the start they thought it was going to change my personality, but I don't think it has.
Yeah, I think it makes me quite awkward in some situations, because you find that your personality starts to shift into this sort of gaming mode, where your kind of humour and everything is based around the humour that you share with the people you game with. And because we do it so much, you kind of swing into that sort of mode all the time without realising it.
The main question, have you ever been addicted to a game?
Probably CSGO. Racked up a good 900 hours in a year.
Yeah, multiple. I got very addicted, oh god, when I was a kid I got very addicted to Minecraft. That was years ago. Those sort of survival game types when I was younger. Nowadays it's more like when a new kind of release, like, I don't know, like when The Division came out and things like that. Like that I put a lot of hours into. You just end up just sinking into it without realising, I guess.
There are some people who become so addicted to games that they go out and commit a crime. So do you think this is because of addiction, or would you just blame it on their mental health?
Probably a bit of both. Like you have to have that kind of mental attitude to be able to first get addicted to enough to be able to kind of like it take over your life enough and change like you and like make you do something. So it's a mixture.
I can't speak for everyone, but I'd say myself personally, I've never found that anything I've done in a game that would have any sort of negative effect. And you know, I've played violent games before, like Grand Theft Auto and stuff. I've never found that I want to do any of that sort of stuff in real life. There's some things in games that of course you want to do in real life, like driving games. Of course that makes you want to drive in real life. But negative sort of things, I've never found or really known, and if I did, I probably wouldn't want to spend time with them. Somebody that found it appropriate to take those sort of actions outside of gaming. I'd probably put their mental health more to account than any sort of addiction to games.
Well, I hope that you will agree with me that gamers are a human resource that we can use to do real-world work, that games are a powerful platform for change. We have all these amazing superpowers, blissful productivity, the ability to weave a tight social fabric, this feeling of urgent optimism and the desire for epic meaning. I really hope that we can come together to play games that matter, to survive on this planet for another century. And that's my hope, that you will join me in making and playing games like this. When I look forward to the next decade, I know two things for sure. that we can make any future we can imagine, and we can play any games we want. So I say, let the world-changing games begin.